Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Belba Family has done it again. They have come out with another new book that I absolutely love. They had sent me last time, they sent me their latest 3 books. I do have a video out there. Nope, this isn't the latest 3. This one with Woman. I do have a video out there flipping through these 3 books. It was Woman, Christmas and Travel Mosaics, and then The Money Book. These are all out on Amazon. You can refer back to that video to see flip throughs of this. I do also have a video prior to that that shows the 4 books that I purchased first off of Amazon. And we have a couple of mystery mosaic books, and then a couple of color by number. They're not the little squares though. They're just your regular color by number, you know, with triangles and different shapes in there. Much larger, much easier to color than your small squares. Okay, so as you can see, they have a lot of different books out. They have those 4, then these 3 that I got last time, and now this one. This is smaller in size. If you compare it to this one, this is your standard 8.5 by 11. This is more the travel size. I would say is like an 8 by 8 square book. But this one is Mandalas. Now this one again has the 3 by 3 millimeter sections, so it's little squares to color in. So this is the front of the book. This is the back of the book, where again, let me zoom in a little bit. We're kind of far out. You can see the color palette. It is number 1 through 22. The color palette is the same on all of their books, which I absolutely love because I have all of my colors written out. I love using my Arteza TwiMarkers. Let me grab them. My Arteza TwiMarkers. Now we're a little close, aren't we? In these Belba Family coloring books. Because of the, pardon the noise, because of the super fine tip. Now I love the little brush tip on these markers, but for these Belba Family books, and I normally never used this really super fine bullet end because it's even finer than your typical fine liner, and I found them quite scratchy. They're real hard to just color with. Unless you color really with a very light hand, you can. But boy, I'll tell you, since Belba Family showed me an alternative way, and I don't know if you've seen my last video showing that, let's put this one back, showing that alternative way of coloring these square mosaic books. I'm in love with them. So when I heard that they were coming out with a mandala squares coloring book, I was so excited to receive this. Thank you, Belba Family, for sending this to me for a review. I did go ahead and color the very first picture, and so we will take a look at that. It has your nameplate page. Then it talks about this particular book. There are 30 mandalas in here. Palette of 22 colors, 18 classics, and 4 additional color shades. Talks about their other color by number books with the little squares. Here again is the color palette. It has it indicated where you can cut this out. Keep it to the side of you. Maybe write down, you know, if you're like me and I like to know ahead of time, especially if I'm, you know, using one particular medium, I figure out all my colors ahead of time. So if you want to write them down in here, if it's a color medium that has a number or a color name attached to it. But yeah, that's what I would suggest that page for. Now, here is the first picture. Let's zoom in a little bit. Again, if you didn't see the other video, Belba Family has just, they have changed my life. No, just kidding. But they did indicate to me that there was an alternative way of coloring these little bitty squares instead of coloring them in solid. They had me go look out on their Instagram page, and I found what they were talking about. And all you do instead of coloring it in solid is you do X's. So if we zoom way in, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So we have, you know, instead of coloring like this number 9 in solid, it's just X'd. Here's number 1s. Okay. So it is just so much fun. It is so relaxing. I just love it. And when you see my video for what I colored in the month of November, yeah, you're going to see that I kind of went crazy doing this. But yeah, that is what this turned out like. Now, of course, you're going to see, you know, white bits because it looks like counted cross stitch, right? This is how mine turned out with the colors that I picked using the X method. Now, I noticed that this particular mandala is on the back page. So the full, or the back cover, the colored in version kind of looks like this. And you can see it's much, what do I want to say, darker. You can, of course, see the color a lot more. So if you like that look better than the cross stitch look, maybe you would want to color them in solid. I love this look. I think it looks really neat. To me, it almost looked like a doily, or, you know, it does look like a counted cross stitch. Now, I did have a couple of requests asking, well, how do you do that? You know, how do you, do that with the X's? So I did start this particular one, and I did all the number 1s. Now, number 1 is a light peach color, so because it was so light, I didn't want to do that particular color on camera. But now I am doing number 17s, which is this lime green. And again, I always use my Arteza TwiMarkers for these. I will link the Arteza TwiMarkers down below. They do work perfectly in here for this X method. I'm sure fine liners, your typical fine liner, would work good too. It's just with this extra fine tip on these TwiMarkers, it just, yeah, they work really good. So I will link this book down below, and I will link the TwiMarkers. They come in 2 different sets. The 100 set, which is what I have, and I believe it's a 60 set. Is it a 60? But I will link both of those down below. They are Arteza affiliate links. So if you do purchase through those links, I do get a kickback. And so I appreciate if you purchase through those links and help support the channel. It all goes back right into the channel, so at no extra cost to you. So let's go ahead and zoom way in, and I'm going to just show you through here, because I finished up through here with the number 17s. 17s, if you look on the back, 17 is a light green. So we go from the blues into light green, green, and dark green. Okay, so I have 3 different colors picked out, because here's my list. This is a list of the colors that I use for my Belba Family books with the TwiMarkers. And I have a bunch of these little slips for all of my color by number books, so I'm going to be typing them up. And so I'll have them all in one place rather than all on separate slips of paper. Okay, so let's come down into here, and I'm going to zoom in even a little bit more, get you nice and close. Now hopefully you'll be able to see this at the angle I'm at. So if we look at the number 17s, now I find it's easiest to go just right straight across rather than up and down, because as you're making your X's, it just seems to flow better. Now that's just me. It, might work differently for you. But yeah, you just make your X, and they don't have to be perfect. Heaven knows mine are not. And we go over here, find our next 17, just like your color by number, where you would fill it in completely. But when I do the color by number squares, you know, because you have so many of the same number together, typically what I would do is I would outline this and then color it all in. Well, I can't draw a longer straight line to save my soul. So mine got quite messy looking when I tried to do them. And to me, this is just so much more neat looking. And also, it doesn't get streaky looking like when you color everything in with water-based mediums. And I know that doesn't bother many of you, and that's fine. You know, that's great. Unfortunately, it does bother me. So, again, this has, I mean, yeah. And I did experiment around with my other mosaic coloring books that I have. Not the Belba Families, but if you've seen my past videos, you know that I have a ton of other individuals' mosaic coloring books, and a lot of them are circles. Some are squares, and some are hexagonal. And so I wanted to see if using this X method would work in the other shaped books besides the square. Now, of course, you know, the square works the best because of the four corners. But I thought, a hexagonal has, you know, corners also. And when I tried it in the hexagonal books, it worked really great. Now, of course, they have a different shape to them. They're not a perfectly, you know, round X. That doesn't make sense, does it? You know, the shape like this. The shape of those X's are just a little bit different, but it did work. And again, I will be showing that in my end of the month, what I colored for the month of November. So you will see it in that video. And then I did also try them on circles, because I have a ton of circle mosaic coloring books. And while it did work, I did the next page coloring the circles in like I normally did. And I have to say that I do feel like I prefer, with the circles anyhow, I prefer to fill them in completely rather than just putting an X through them. I think the circles, you know, filling the circles in just looks much, much better. So, yeah, this is all I do. I keep going row by row. And boy, I know for sure is going to be one book that I will definitely finish. Probably not this month, especially with the holidays and wanting to color all the Christmas pictures, right? But I know that I will be working in this book on my own. It won't be on camera for a color and chat, because probably all my color and chats this month will be Christmas pictures. Heaven only knows I have a lot of Christmas books, and I definitely want to do a color and chat out of Sun Life Drawings books. Oh, let's get back down here in frame. One of their Christmas coloring books. We're definitely going to do a color and chat out of. So I hope that this answers the question that a couple of you guys had as far as how I go about doing this X method. It's very, very easy. As you can see, don't have to be, you know, extremely accurate with your X's. It does not matter in the grand scheme of things. But yes, just having a blast. Belba Family, I sure hope you plan on coming out with another book like this. Because all of these with the squares are just so much fun. We'll finish this row up together, and then can you tell I'm having fun? I don't want to stop. It's like it's addictive, and it looks like cross stitch, but as you can tell, goes much faster than cross stitch. Now, if you are a cross stitcher, you know, you like to do those kind of crafts. This, you know, definitely is not the same thing as actually picking up a needle and the floss and actually making a picture. Let's zoom back out. Okay, so that is just a little bit of what I did with the green. Okay, then I would go through, do all the 17s. Now, in this previous one, I did just the top half because there were a number of different colors, and I found that I was missing some of the numbers, which we all do. It's just like diamond painting, you know? You miss some of the numbers and you gotta go back. And that's why I pull out, according to my list here, I'll pull out all of these colors out of my case, and I will lay them down on the end table next to me in the living room, so I know I have number 1, 2, 3, 4. I know exactly what pen I need to pick up for what color, what number, and yeah, works really great. I know some of you people are talented enough where you don't have your colors planned out whatsoever, and you're like, okay, I need a light blue. Let's see, that one looks light. I can't do that. I just can't. It drives me crazy. So yeah, I have to have it planned ahead. So it doesn't really pay for me to actually flip through this book. You can kind of see in some of the, well, let's come up a little bit. Kind of a little bit of what the mandala will look like. And again, I know this isn't a lot of people's thing. They don't like color by number, or even if you like color by number, you wouldn't like the little bitty squares. But I would suggest trying this X method. If you're looking for something that is just so completely stress-free and easy to do, here you can see there's our circles here. So you can kind of see a little bit what the mandala is going to look like. Some of them a little bit more than others. Here you can see we have swirls in this one. A lot of number 2s and 3s in here, which is what colors? Yellow and beige. This beige was a really, really hard one to figure out what color they were actually looking for. And I looked at the back of a lot of these different books to determine what kind of color they were actually looking for. You know, like lilac, okay, looks like they're looking for that kind of a color. Because sometimes it's really hard to tell. And this beige, yeah, that was a hard one. So when I looked at the picture inside the book, and I seen that they were looking for this kind of a color, it's like a light tan. But yet when I looked at it here, it just, I don't know how to describe it, but that's how I got my color list together, and it's been working out really, really good. So, but this is the colored in version of 6 of these. Now again, mine looks different than what these do. I cannot wait to get to this one. I think this one is so pretty. This is one that we did see when we were looking through this. This one looks kind of neat, almost looks like a sun or a wheel. I hope that's showing up on camera. Yeah, it kind of is, huh? There's a square with a circle in here. Don't these look like fun? At least, oh, I think so. That one's a little bit harder to make out. Now, we got the square in here with, again, a circle around. Here's a mandala that kind of spreads out from the middle. Your typical mandala. So yeah, you can kind of make out, sort of, kind of, a little bit what they're going to look like. That one's a little bit harder to pick out, and so, oh, that looks neat. I am going to just start from the beginning of the book and work my way through. I'm not going to pick and choose like the other ones. Is that the one? Is that one? Nope. It's a different one. That one looks neat too, though. Another one that's a little bit harder to pick out. You can see the design in each corner. And these actually don't take that long to do. Especially these smaller size ones, the 8x8 book, versus, I'll show you, I did a number of them in here, like this one. And again, you'll see these in my end of the month, what I colored for the month pictures. But like that one. Doesn't those look awesome? I just think they're so cute. Now here's that beige, that number 3. And like I said, I had to go with what I seen on the back cover on the other pictures, and that's what I came up with, and it works really, really good. So, but yeah, having so much fun. Again, can't thank you enough, Belba Family. And I was so happy to review this book for you. I was just excited. Couldn't wait to get it. Oh, I like that one too. I love them all. Can you tell? Oh, that's neat too. Now I have you zoom back out a little ways, but a little bit harder to pick that one up. So some really neat designs in here. I guess not necessarily all mandala where it's, you know, in circle format. They're almost more like patterns, I guess, than mandalas. But mandala is actually patterns in circle format, right? It's a repeating pattern that goes around in a circle. There's the one with the hearts. So much fun. And here it says, we are Belba Family. We are family. Sorry. All books are made with love for people and nature. We thank you for your choice. And then they ask for feedback with a review of the book. And they are on Facebook under Belba Family and Instagram. And here we have a couple of blank sheets at the back of the book. Excuse me. Okay, so again, this is their most current book. I will link it down below in the description, but again, be aware that, they have many other books out there too. So go ahead and check these out also. They do have the one Christmas book out there. It is not the little squares. This is the one that I did, and again, I did it with TwiMarkers, and the TwiMarkers in these books work out great too, because you can use the brush tip for the bigger, you know, areas, and then you can use that fine tip to get in here and do all the little areas. So again, TwiMarkers just work great in these books. So yes, thank you very much, Belba family. I hope you liked seeing this latest and greatest book from them, and just kind of going through and showing you this X technique if you want to go ahead and try it on your own. So thank you, yes, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching this flip through of this book and this little demo with the Arteza TwiMarkers. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Hit that notification bell so you know when I put out new videos, and please subscribe if you are new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, and as always, happy coloring. Bye guys.